Okay, here we go. Welcome to my stream. We're just going to be doing a little ASMR tonight. A little chillin'. Some triggers. And probably a little poetry. I've got some Emily Dickinson that I can read. And some other stuff. There's lots of poetry out there. Unfortunately, on my stream, I can only read somewhat old poetry that is in the public domain. So, mostly that means poetry that is more than 100 years old. Quite unfortunate, really. Let's have some honey. Yummy honey. Twitch says my connection is unstable. But YouTube says I have an excellent connection. So I think that must be just a Twitch issue. Excuse me, my throat's feeling a little scratchy. Maybe some hydration is in order. Okay, so I prepared some new triggers here. That I haven't used before. I'd like to maybe spend some more time this evening doing triggers. Get a little practice with that. In particular, since my voice doesn't seem to be doing quite as well as usual. So I would like to use it a little less in this stream. Although I've been really enjoying doing the poetry. I can't very well read poetry to you without using my voice. I don't have hand tracking, so sign language would not be an option. Also, I don't know sign language, so that would be a pretty bad plan. So I have some cork here, which I can tap on. Wow, the tracking is not great when I'm very close to the mic. I suppose that's kind of a fundamental problem, huh? I have seen many VTubers have that problem when trying to do triggers very close to the mic. that's kind of okay. That trigger. It's, sounds almost like a 3DIO. Though I don't have one of those. That one seems perhaps a little harsh. That's kind of nice. I kind of like that one. So, as you might be able to tell, I don't really have a detailed plan for this stream. I think one of the benefits of ASMR is you don't always need a very detailed plan. What about the brushes on the cork? I have another brush I'll try. This one's softer. I really like that trigger with the brush on the mic or my finger on the mic. What about, okay, this is a little bit of a risk, but we're going to try the brush handle on the mic. Oh no, I think that's a bit much. Yeah, that one's a bit much. We won't do that one. Okay, I think I'm going to read a little poetry. So give me just a moment to get set up for that. I'm also, I think, going to run the treadmill while I read poetry. It's good for a bear to maintain his figure. Alrighty, so let's get that treadmill going. We're gonna do a leisurely pace, maybe 1.5 miles per hour. How's that sound? If you're watching this as a VOD on YouTube, I would be very interested to know how you feel about the treadmill noise in the background. Is it rhythmic and comforting? Does it complement the ASMR? Or does it ruin it? Leave a comment. Let me know. Alrighty, so we're going to read some Emily Dickinson. She has quite a lot of poems. And I have here a book from Project Gutenberg, which claims to be the complete series of the complete works of Emily Dickinson. It's titled 3 Series Complete by Emily Dickinson. It appears to have been compiled specifically for Project Gutenberg. So, I'm just going to go through these in order. As the title suggests, it is in 3 series. The first series is called Life. And the first poem in the first series is called Success. I'm gonna reduce the speed just a little bit on the treadmill down to 1.3 miles per hour. It's a very leisurely pace for me. Most of the time I'm walking at around 2 miles per hour while I work. But that's a bit much, I think, for ASMR. ASMR needs to be a little more relaxed. Okay, so Success by Emily Dickinson. Success is counted sweetest by those who ne'er succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory as he, defeated, dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph break, agonized and clear. Yeah. It's true, I suppose. Sorry, excuse me just a moment. I seem to be having some technical difficulties. Here we go. YouTube claims to be streaming, but it doesn't seem to actually be streaming. Wait, there it is. Huh. It's just an issue with my phone. Okay. Where was I? Right. I had just read Success by Emily Dickinson. The next poem is untitled and short. I like short poems. Our share of night to bear, our share of morning, our blank in bliss to fill, our blank in scorning. Here a star, and there a star, some lose their way. Here a mist, and there a mist. Afterwards, day. The next poem is called Rouge et noir. That's French, ladies and gentlemen. Rouge et noir. Soul, wilt thou toss again by just such a hazard? Hundreds have lost indeed, but tens have won in all. Angel's breathless ballot lingers to record thee. Imps in eager caucus raffle for my soul. The next poem also has a French title. It is called Rouge Gagne. 'Tis so much joy, 'tis so much joy. If I should fail, what poverty! And yet, as poor as I, have ventured all upon a throw, have gained, yes, hesitated so, this side the victory. Life is but life, and death but death. Bliss is but bliss, and breath but breath. And if indeed I fail, at least to know the worst is sweet. Defeat means nothing but defeat. No drearier can prevail. And if I gain, O gun at sea, O bells that in the steeples be, at first repeat it slow, for heaven is a different thing, conjectured and waked sudden in, and might o'erwhelm me so. I don't really know what that poem is about. The interesting thing about these poems, I read a little bit of the introduction, is that she didn't actually write them, apparently, to be published. She just wrote poems and kept them to herself. And then they were much later published. So, probably some of her poems only made sense to her, and perhaps were only intended to make sense to her. Why should we expect them to make sense to us? She didn't write them for us. Okay, next is an untitled poem. I suppose many of her poems are untitled because, again, she did not intend to publish them. Glee, the great storm is over. 4 have recovered the land. 40 gone down together into the boiling sand. Ring for the scant salvation. Toll for the bonny souls. Neighbor and friend and bridegroom spinning upon the souls. How they will tell the shipwreck when winter takes the door. Till the children ask, but the 40, did they come back no more? Then a silence suffuses the story, and a softness the teller's eye, and the children no further question, and only the waves reply. Alrighty, I'm just giving up on the treadmill for now. It's making it quite hard to simultaneously do triggers like this and speak in a relaxed voice while walking on a treadmill. skill issue, I guess. Something I'll have to work on because time, my children, time is the most valuable thing. And there are so many things that we want to do with our time. So many things that we need to do with our time. And one of them is that we need to exercise. So I really wish that I could exercise while I stream, because I do think streaming is a good use of my time. I don't know if I'm entertaining anybody else, but this is very valuable to me. I find it very relaxing. That's okay. I get lots of walking in on this treadmill during the day. Excuse me, that was a little bear cough there. Okay, the next poem. I guess the good news is my throat seems to be holding up reasonably well, so I can do some reading. Of course, as soon as I say that, my voice starts to break. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. Yes, that's part of why I stream, I guess. Maybe Papa Bear should take this poem as his anthem. Let's read it again. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. The next poem is called Almost! Exclamation point. Almost. Half the lines in this poem also end in exclamation points. I haven't read it yet, but I feel like this poem is shouting at me. Okay, here we go. Almost. Within my reach, I could have touched. I might have chanced that way. Soft sauntered through the village. Sauntered as soft away. So unsuspected violets within the fields lie low, too late for striving fingers that passed an hour ago. Next poem, with many fewer exclamation points, and no title at all. A wounded deer leaps highest, I've heard the hunter tell. 'Tis but the ecstasy of death, and then the break is still. The smitten rock that gushes, the trampled steel that springs. A cheek is always redder, just where the hectic stings. Mirth is the mail of anguish, in which it cautions arm, lest anybody spy the blood, and your hurt exclaim. Okay, Emily Dickinson, tell me how arm rhymes with exclaim. I don't believe they do. Papa Bear does not approve of that rhyme. Okay. What do we have next? Another untitled poem. The heart asks pleasure first, and then excuse from pain, and then those little anodynes that deaden suffering, and then to go to sleep, and then, if it should be, the will of its inquisitor, the liberty to die. Okay, Emily, we need to have a chat about rhymes. There aren't any in that poem. There are some near rhymes, but there aren't any proper rhymes. You have pain and suffering. Those don't rhyme. You have be and die. Those don't rhyme. But both of them feel like they want to be rhymes. Poems don't have to rhyme, of course. But this one feels like it's trying to rhyme and failing. Okay, the next poem is a long poem, relatively long, longer than the others. It is called In a Library. Excuse me, I'm going to clear my throat. Okay. In a library, a precious, mouldering pleasure 'tis to meet an antique book. In just the dress his century wore, a privilege, I think, his venerable hand to take in warming in our own, a passage back or two to make to times when he was young, his quaint opinions to inspect, his knowledge to unfold, on what concerns our mutual mind, the literature of old. what interested scholars most, what competitions ran when Plato was a certainty, and Sophocles a man, when Sappho was a living girl, and Beatrice wore the gown that Dante deified. Facts centuries before. He traverses familiar as one should come to town and tell you all your dreams were true. He lived where dreams were sown. His presence is enchantment. You beg him not to go. Old volumes shake their vellum heads and tantalize, just so. How about some triggers for a bit? Kind of not feeling the poetry so much today. Not that I don't like Emily Dickinson. I've been complaining a lot about her lack of rhymes, but honestly, she's Emily Dickinson. I'm a cartoon bear, so joke's on me. What happens if I take a soft brush and brush a piece of foam? Does that sound okay? Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. Not too bad, I guess. I think I need to fix the lighting because my webcam is losing tracking a lot. Give me just a moment. Okay, we're back, I hope. I see quite a lot of lag to Twitch, and not much lag to YouTube. I wonder, is Twitch just having trouble right now? Test a little chat. Oh, look, it's Cookie. I'm testing my lag here because Twitch seems to be having trouble streaming, although YouTube does not, so I think it must be Twitch. Hello, Cookie. What the Wonder Bear doing? I'm experimenting with some triggers, and reading some Emily Dickinson. Criticizing her rhyming schemes. Which is a little bit arrogant of me, but you know, bears are like that. How are you tonight? Sorry, just had to sneeze a bit there. A little bear sneeze. Okay. Yeah, it is cool, isn't it? And it was really cheap, but it was really cheap to get to use it, but it's not mine exclusively. But it does cool things. Lom, 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 lom. And it waves. Hey, cookie. And it roars. Roar. I actually have to roar, but it shows its teeth. Okay. Oh, and it sticks its tongue out. Except that doesn't seem to work all the time. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, maybe I get back to Emily Dickinson. Okay. Did I just read a lot in a library? Yes, I did. So the next one is untitled. Much madness is divinest sense to a discerning eye. Much sense, the starkest madness. 'Tis the majority in this as all prevails. Assent, and you are sane. Demur, you're straightway dangerous, and handled with a chain. That's a dark poem. Next we have another untitled poem. I asked no other thing. No other was denied. I offered being for it. The mighty merchant smiled. Brazil? He twirled a button without a glance my way. But madam, is there nothing else that we can show today? That just strikes me as a silly poem. The next one is called Exclusion. The soul selects her own society, then shuts the door on her divine majority. Obtrude no more. Unmoved, she notes the chariots pausing at her low gate. Unmoved, an emperor is kneeling upon her mat. I've known her from an ample nation. Choose one, then close the valves of her attention like stone. I think Emily Dickinson might have just been high sometimes. Okay, Streamlabs is spamming my chat. And this I cannot endure. I must fix it. Okay. Yes, maybe spam that a little less. I think that should help. Okay. Where are my poems? Here we go. Back in business. The next poem is called The Secret. Some things that fly there be, birds, ours, the bumblebee. Of these no elegy. Some things that stay there be, grief, hills, eternity. Nor this behooveth me. There are that resting rise. Can I expound the skies? How still the riddle lies. Flubbed that one a bit. Just paying too much attention to my own animated image on the screen. It's very distracting, that bear looking at me. Okay. The next poem is called The Lonely House. This one's quite long. I know some lonely houses off the road, robbered like the look of, wooden barred and windows hanging low, inviting to a portico where two could creep, one hand the tools, the other peep, to make sure all's asleep. Old-fashioned eyes, not easy to surprise. How orderly the kitchen looked by night, with just a clock, but they could gag the tick, and mice won't bark, and so the walls don't tell, none will. A pair of spectacles, ajar just stir, an almanac's aware. Was it the mat winked, or a nervous star? The moon slides down the stair to see who's there. There's plunder. Where? Tankard or spoon, earring or stone, a watch, some ancient brooch, to match the grandmama stayed sleeping there. Day rattles too, stealths slow. The sun has got as far as the third sycamore. Screams Chanticleer, who's there? And echoes, trains away, sneer, where? While the old couple, just astir, fancy the sunrise left the door ajar. A poem about doing some crime. Yes. Nothing wrong with a little crime now and then, I guess. That's what I say. Not really, of course. Crime is bad, kids. The Next poem is untitled. To fight aloud is very brave, but gallanter I know, who charge within the bosom the cavalry of woe, who win and nations do not see, who fall and none observe, whose dying eyes no country regards with patriot love. We trust in plumed procession, for such the angels go, rank after rank with even feet and uniforms of snow. I'm going to adjust my microphones a bit. Bear with me. Haha, bear with me. Alrighty. Yeah, I think that's a nicer tone with them in that position. And certainly louder. Oh dear. Streamlabs is still spamming a bit. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. What time is it? Okay, I guess it's not spamming anymore, actually. It stopped a bit ago. Alrighty. Back, I guess, to poetry. Or I don't know, maybe a little break for some microphone attention. Hello, microphone. You're doing a great job today. You are valued. You're good at what you do. You are respected and needed. That's some positive affirmations for my microphones. Some hydration sounds for you there. Okay. The next poem is called Dawn. When night is almost done and sunrise grows so near that we can touch the spaces, it's time to smooth the hair and get the dimples ready and wonder we could care for that old faded midnight that frightened but an hour. That was Dawn by Emily Dickinson. The next poem is called The Book of Martyrs. Read, sweet, how others strove, till we are stouter, what they renounced, till we are less afraid. How many times they bore the faithful witness, till we are helped, as if a kingdom cared. Read then of faith that shone above the faggot. That, by the way, does not mean homosexual in this context. That word means other things in this context. Clear strains of hymn the river could not drown. Brave names of men and celestial women passed out of record into renown. That was the Book of Martyrs by Emily Dickinson. Next up, we have a poem called The Mystery of Pain. Pain has an element of blank. It cannot recollect when it began, or if it was there, a day when it was not. It has no future but itself, has its infinite realms contain, its past enlightened to perceive new periods of pain. That was Emily Dickinson on the mystery of pain. Alrighty. The next poem is untitled. It's about alcohol, though. So, Papa Bear has a public service announcement to make. Drink responsibly, children. I taste a liquor never brewed, from tankards scooped in pearl. Not all the vats upon the Rhine yield such an alcohol. Inebriate of air am I, and debauchee of dew, reeling through endless summer days from inns of molten blue. When landlords turn the drunken bee out of the foxglove's door, when butterflies renounce their drams, I shall but drink the more, till seraphs swing their snowy hats, and saints to windows run, to see the little tippler leaning against the sun. I think I prefer honey to alcohol. Yum yum. Why is my tongue hanging out? Tongue, get back in there. What are you doing? There we go. Okay. The next poem by Emily Dickinson is called A Book. It's called A Book. He ate and drank the precious words. His spirit grew robust. He knew no more that he was poor, nor that his frame was dust. He danced along the dingy days, and this bequest of wings was but a book what liberty a loosened spirit brings. The next poem is also untitled. Sorry, I was just distracted thinking back on that previous poem, the book. It's kind of nice. I think I'm gonna read it again. It didn't really sink in for me as I was reading it the first time. So here it is again, a book by Emily Dickinson. He ate and drank the precious words. His spirit grew robust. He knew no more that he was poor, nor that his frame was dust. He danced along the dingy days, and this bequest of wings was but a book. What liberty a loosened spirit brings. That's really quite lovely. And I read it much better the second time, if I may say so myself. Okay. And now we move on to this next untitled poem. I had no time to hate because the grave would hinder me, and life was not so ample I could finish enmity. Nor had I time to love, but since some industry must be, the little toil of love, I thought, was large enough for me. The next poem is called Unreturning. It was such a little boat that toddled down the bay. 'Twas such a gallant sea that beckoned it away. 'Twas such a greedy wave that licked it from the coast, nor ever guessed the stately sails. My little craft was lost. I hope everyone's all right. I hope there was no one on the little boat. It's a dangerous world out there. Next, an untitled poem. Whether my bark went down at sea, whether she met with gales, whether to isles enchanted she bent her docile sails, by what mystic mooring she is held today, this is the errand of the eye out upon the bay. The next poem is also untitled. Belshazzar had a letter. He never had but one. Belshazzar's correspondent concluded and begun in that immortal copy, the conscience of us all can read without its glasses on Revelation's wall. The next poem, the last poem, of the first series of poems. The first series is titled Life, and this is the final poem in that series, poem number 26, which has no title. The brain, within its groove, runs evenly and true. But let a splinter swerve, 'twere easier for you to put the water back when floods have slit the hills and scooped a turnpike for themselves and blotted out the mills. What does this poem mean? I don't know. Oh, I think I do. I'm gonna just go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say this poem is about ADHD. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's read it again. The brain within its groove runs evenly and true. But let a splinter swerve, 'twere easier for you to put the water back when floods have slit the hills and scooped a turnpike for themselves and blotted out the mills. So I'm thinking that the idea is that it's difficult to recover from distraction. I might be wrong. I have been wrong before. And poor Emily Dickinson is no longer alive to come on my stream and explain this poem. So we're going to go with ADHD. This poem is about ADHD. Okay, so that was the end of the first series of poems. There were 26 of them. And my stream is just at the 1 hour mark, just past the 1 hour mark, so I need to take a very quick break, hydrate, and rest my throat a bit, which is getting a bit overworked. And I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Refreshed. Although my voice may not hold up for very much longer. So I had been wanting to stream for quite a while today, but seems like I might not be able to. My goodness, the amount of lag to Twitch tonight is really quite extreme. Here I am, returned, but the Twitch stream still shows me AFK. YouTube's doing well. I'm multicasting right now to both Twitch and YouTube. Okay, there we go. Now Twitch sees me. I'm gonna wave just to check the lag. Okay, that's good. I guess I just had to refresh there. Now it's much better. Okay, where was I? I was reading the poems of Emily Dickinson, and I just finished the first series, which was called Life. And I'm contemplating, as bears do, we bears contemplate. I'm contemplating whether my voice can hold out to read any appreciable amount of the second series of poems, which is titled Love. And I'm feeling like maybe I will give my voice a little bit of a break. In fact, let me how about right there? Maybe I'll make it slightly smaller. Okay. I can whisper, actually. Whispering seems to work just fine. Whispering poetry, though, I don't know about that. What whispering does not do is it does not trigger the bear's mouth to move. That's unfortunate. much honey this late. Where I live, it was a really lovely day today. Really lovely. I spent a little time outside on my deck. Very nice. Reminds me a bit of this scene. It's the grass and the tree. Except all of the grass is dead right now. And the trees have no leaves, but other than that, it was a very nice day. Okay, what other triggers do I have? Oh, goodness. I just noticed one of my favorite streamers is streaming. And here I am, streaming and not watching them. If I had enough people here, I would perhaps read them. Wouldn't that be cool? Let's try these brushes again. This is kind of a stiff brush. It's a fan brush for oil painting. I think I can get sort of some of those 3DO ear cleaning type sounds. This is a softer brush. This is a filbert brush, also for oil painting. I think that's kind of nice. Seems very dangerous, actually, so easy to bonk the mic and make a sound I do not want. Okay. Let's see if my voice works well enough. If we can read some poems about love by Emily Dickinson. The first poem is called Mine. Mine by the right of the white election. Mine by the royal seal. Mine by the sign in the scarlet prison bars cannot conceal. Mine here in vision and in veto. Mine by the grave's repeal. Titled, confirmed, delirious charter. Mine while the ages steal. The next one is called Bequest. You left me, sweet, two legacies. A legacy of love, a heavenly Father would content had he the offer of. You left me boundaries of pain, capacious as the sea. Between eternity and time, your consciousness and me. The next poem is untitled. Alter when the hills do, falter when the sun question if his glory be the perfect one. Surfeit when the daffodil doth of the dew, even as herself, O friend, I will of you. Many of these poems make no sense to Papa Bear. Papa Bear has very small brain. But Papa Bear like how the poems sound. So, Papa Bear, keep reading. The next one is called Suspense. And I think actually this will be the last one that I read because my voice is really not doing terribly well, which is a shame because I was looking forward to streaming tonight for a bit longer. Okay, before I lose my voice entirely, let's get it over with. Suspense by Emily Dickinson. Elysium is as far as to the very nearest room. If in that room a friend await, felicity or doom. What fortitude the soul contains that it can so endure the accent of a coming foot, the opening of a door. Okay. That was Suspense by Emily Dickinson. And now, I believe I will call that a day. I wonder if I should maybe raid my pal over there. Why not? Well, I will, before I do that, say goodbye to YouTube. If you are watching this VOD, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was probably not my best, and I really did not to Emily Dickinson. But I hope it was cozy, at least. Good night. Okay, now